welcome back. So I know what you're thinking. Oh no, not another voiceover video. But trust me, this one's going to be great. If you haven't seen the first the previous video of my first session on the Duke 890R, definitely go check that out. But if you don't want to, I ran a 2:01 as my fastest lap, and it was just your normal first session of the day. 2 laps, followed later, and then it was just a bit of a, bit of a grind, trying to figure out everyone's pace and figure out your own pace, figure out your tires, feel everything out, right? So, but anyway, we're back here. This is the second session of the day. This was Saturday. We had a Saturday and a Sunday track day, and the Sunday track day was completely rained out, so this was the only nice day we had. So I kind of wanted to make the most of it, but what I'm about to show you here is something you should not do. Right here, I pull out of the left lane, if you want to call it that, and I move all the way over to the right to pass this guy on the outlap. Now, if I was the last person in line to pit out onto the track, or especially if I joined and I tried to pit in late, there would be people in that right side lane, if you will, of the track doing 80, 90, 100 miles an hour. And if I pull out like that, not knowing who's behind me that's probably on a lap, and I'm doing 50, 60 miles an hour, I'm going to get my ass ran into. So do not do what I did there. Feel free to rewind and watch me pit out again. Don't do that. So, learned my lesson. I didn't learn my lesson the hard way, but looking back at this, I'm like, I'm an idiot. So, this guy's body position also really, really great. He's doing something here where he set himself up for turn 9 by moving his body before getting to the brakes. Yamaha Champ School, body before brakes, right? There's a couple things that you can definitely learn without having to do the school because they have great videos online. Body before brakes. That's something that I suffer with a lot. So, we're here, back at turn 12, 13, 14, my absolute kryptonite. Absolutely despise these corners. As you can see, I'm way too early for the apex of turn 14. But it's okay because the Duke's got that power. I can just roll onto it on the straight, pass a 400 rider, which I feel bad for those guys on the drive. I shouldn't feel bad for them. I'm sure they're having tons of fun as well, but when it's a dry day and you just want to run, it's getting big biked is never fun. So really, really fast turn 2. Tip in for turn 3. If you're doing this one right, you should be doing anywhere between 95 and 115, 110 maybe, somewhere in that ballpark, about 100 miles an hour. In turns 4 and 5, my bread and butter. This bike turns so well. And this is where I do a lot of my passing, up the hill into turn 6. This is like my favorite spot. Because people get on the brakes, so early for turn 6. So I'll give it a little extra oomph and go around the outside. Always making sure to pass before the meatball flag, though. There is a meatball flag, aka a no passing zone in a few areas on the track. Turn 6 is one of them. So, running up to some traffic here, turn 9, find yourself in the pack. A lot of people like to pass at the exit of this corner as well. There goes the guy in front of me. And a lot of people also brake really early for turn 10. So that's another place where you can pass around the outside of the exit of 10, and that sets you up for the inside of 11. So, I don't know what bike this guy has in front of me. I don't recognize the shape of the tail light or the brand at all, but I'm gonna scoot by him back here. We've got problems. So you'll see, I start to tweak out here. I have no idea what's wrong with my bike. Throw the hand up, signal, let people behind me know that, I have an issue. Immediately, I changed to GP shift, right? and I've never used a bike that had GP shift. But since this bike is brand new to me, you know, we did everything at once: tires, GP shift, and knew everything. So it's something to get used to. But I changed down, I think, from third to second instead of going from third to fourth at the exit of the last corner, and I absolutely smashed the rev limiter there. So you'll see, or you probably have already seen on my screen, it said something about cornering ABS. Cornering ABS, either fault or failure or something like that. I had no idea what the problem was, nor did I know how to get out of the menu, like how to dismiss the warning. I didn't know what was wrong with the bike. I just kept riding because I mean, I'm out there, right? So I'm just feeling it out. The bike still is fine. I'm just not sure what the issue is, and I still am not today. I lost cornering ABS, traction control, and lean angle ABS. They all got disabled for some reason. I don't know if it's a problem with my ABS sensor or the actual ring, the ABS ring on the front or rear. Maybe they're damaged. So, but for whatever reason, whenever I give it full throttle in any session after this, all of my rider rates go away, which I didn't know at the time. So I'm riding, all I do is I look down and I see the cornering ABS error, but I don't actually know that my slip, which is KTM's term for motorcycle traction control, which you can adjust on the fly, is totally off. Everything is off. I'm riding this bike completely raw, but I still have a good feeling for what the bike's doing underneath me, right? The tires are communicative, the chassis is talking to me. You know, I'm not a pro, but you sit on a bike for long enough, you kind of know what you're feeling through your hands, through your butt, through the pegs. You know, you can kind of feel when a bike is unhappy or when it's starting to complain, right? Tires are sliding, etc. So these are the guys that I already passed, but now that, you know, I've had a lap to know that there is an issue, but it's clearly not catastrophic, so I can carry on. It's head down, and I'm going full steam ahead trying to get back past these guys. So yeah, that's the issue currently with the bike. Still haven't fixed it, and you know, maybe I'll cover that in a different video once I've found the solution. So the first 3 laps, just to give you some context, the first 3 laps of this session that you're watching right now were a 2:02.61, a 2:01.43, and a 2-minute 41. And the first lap was a 2:02 with the issue that I had, you know, me putting my hand up, taking time off the straightaway to, you know, signal that I had an issue. But each of these laps I've had traffic, like you can see the guy in front of me, but I'll get past him at the exit of 14 coming onto the straightaway, and pay attention to this next lap. This next lap, I have free air and I string together an extremely complete session, probably one of my best. So I'm going to shut up now and I'm just going to let you hear. Alright, so even messing with, you may have seen my left thumb grab for the controls to shush the, the warning lights yelling at me on the dash. I still have no idea, right? Like, I can't see my RPM bar, can't see my gear indicator, can't see anything. Yeah, there it is, TC, an MTC error or failure, whatever it is. So traction control, motorcycle traction control, something like that. That last lap, including me fiddling with the buttons to try and get the dash errors to go away, and running wide and letting off the gas on the straightaway, was a 154.12, which is by far and away the fastest I've ever gone around Palmer. Like I said, my previous best last year was a 158.11, and you may have seen on that last lap, the 154, that I messed up. I went too deep into turn 1 and had to really lay off the gas to get my line back. There was that, and then there was me fiddling with the buttons on the straight and getting myself a little too wide, and then I had to roll off the gas. So even with those two things combined, and still, I know that felt like a really complete lap, but there's still way more ceiling in the bike. A 154.12, when I go back to the pits and I check my times, I am ecstatic with that. Because it felt good. I felt like I was hauling. I felt confident. I still, at this point, have no idea that my traction control is totally gone, inoperable. And I'm just super pumped to see my times come down, so make sure to stay tuned for the next video.